Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Holly.
Welcome to Friends of Gameology, hosted by friendsofgameology.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Why did we even... That's not even what we... This is news.
News for science.
In some nebulous amount of time.
I was thinking about hands and how
I know, because we're both sitting here like a bunch of dummies with our hands...
I just did it on purpose.
No, I think we both started like this. You did it on purpose?
Yeah.
Well, because I changed.
I know. And
at the last second, and then you
purpose.
changed, and I changed back, and I caught you.
I did it on purpose. No, you didn't change until you started speaking. I got you.
I mean, I still changed.
News for science.
In some nebulous amount of time. What do you think we'll hit today? Think we'll go 15? Will we do 25?
Who knows? I always think we don't
shoot
have that much to say.
I know.
And then somehow it's like the iPad turns off, and we're like, oh.
It's stuff like this.
We've got.
We haven't said anything, and it's been a minute.
March Madness.
Yes. So
ended. I don't even.
I'm deflated.
Well, So I guess my deflation happened way earlier, and that's why.
Mine was the culmination, the final game. It was Gonzaga versus UNC.
Yeah.
And it was going to be... Now, here's where I need Mr. Yates. Because it's Stefan or Steven or Stefan.
Mr. Yates.
Let's say Mr. Yates. It was S-T-E-F-A-N.
What is
We've done this
his
before.
username?
Stefan Yates or Stefan or Steven. I don't know. It's Mr. Yates and I were... One of us two were going to win. Was going to win. One of us two was going to win. And it was epic. It was super epic. And
the game was super close.
I felt like Gonzaga was down a lot.
Because Gonzaga was down the majority of the game, but they brought it back, and then they did the ending where they tried to foul to come back, and then so they just didn't. Yeah.
But you know what? Congratulations to Mr. Yates. The $10 gift certificate is yours, and by the posting of this video, you already have it. But
yeah,
I'm excited for next year.
Hopefully my pick doesn't lose in the second round.
Yeah, that was
like
the best.
Who loses in the round 32 when you're ranked number 1 overall, right?
Villanova?
Yes.
I always say Villanova. I feel like the LL is a Y.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Yeah, because it's probably supposed to be. It's probably a name, and it's supposed to be just like here
Villanova,
in Austin,
Village,
Texas.
right? And Nova's new.
I don't speak those languages, so I don't know. But I do know that here in Austin, we have streets, and we don't say them the way you're supposed to. Like Guadalupe. We don't say how you're supposed to. San Jacinto, we say San Jack.
It's supposed to be San Jacinto.
Right, which we don't say, we just say San Jack.
Yeah.
Nueces.
I think that's right.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Either way, there's plenty of names that we don't say. So I think it's kind of like along those lines. But either way, Villanova wasn't just a 1 seed, because there are 4 of them. They were the number 1 seed.
They were projected to win.
They didn't even make it to the Final 4. Like, I can understand losing in the Final 4. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't get to 16.
They didn't make anything except they won their first game. Congratulations on beating a 16.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats.
And congrats to Mr. Yates. I now have my streak of winning one time broken, and I'm at 1. So now next year I'm going to break Mr. Yates' streak. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it. But I'm hopeful next year we'll have a cooler prize. I'm hopeful we'll get like a game involved, or maybe prizes, so like the top 3 or something can get something cool. I will have my act much more together then, because my daughters will be
not a month old.
Yeah, that doesn't help. So,
but they're both asleep now, so
I have a question. I hope you got this far. I've noticed that in the most recent news, they don't have as many views as the other ones. Like, they haven't cracked 100 views yet, where the other ones are like 130. And I wonder if it's just because they've been about March Madness, and maybe a lot of people that play board games don't identify with watching sports. I don't know. But I wonder. But I don't know. And so I hope that you've made it through this intro, this 5-minute intro or so, that's 4 minutes, about March Madness. And you're here now, because I want to ask you, like, do you feel like you know me? Do you feel like you know Molly? Did you know I was going to ask this?
No.
And the reason I ask is because when I listen to the radio and I hear the same people talk in the morning show, I get to feel like I know them. I know their personalities. I do. Do you not feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know their radio personality, which a lot of times is the same, but a lot of times is different.
True, but like I get to know that person. And I feel that way. Like, there was this podcast I listened to, and then we ended up, they did like a Indiegogo fundraiser, and I paid the money. We were able to go meet them. And so we went and we flew to meet these people, and we played games with them. And I felt like I knew them, and I felt like it was super awkward. because they didn't know us at all. And I was like telling all the jokes that they'd said, and I was like, and they're like, hey, I can't relate to you at all. And so what I want to know is, do you feel like you know me? Has my personality shown through the last 200 videos we've made? Do you feel like you know Molly? Like, would you want to play games with either one of us? I'm cool if you say you'd rather play with Molly or me, whatever. Would you rather? Do you have like a favorite? Would you if you saw Molly or me at like a convention, would you be like, I should try to get in a game with them. Like, I think they're cool, or at least one of them, like Molly. But the reason I bring it up is, like I said, I wonder if like, would I be like, hey, I don't know, like any of the jokes that you know, but you know all the jokes I've said on. I don't think so. I think I'd be cool with you. I think anybody could play games with me. I'd be cool with them. Just gotta take your turn kind of quick.
Yeah.
I'm a quick player.
Yeah, if you really like really long games, you might not want to play with us. But I think we've said that multiple times. It's not the length of the game that always gets me. It's the length of the turns.
Yeah. I don't like the downtime. I'm kind of an impatient person.
Yeah. Well, like, I know what I want to take. So Ticket to Ride is an example for me, where Tom and I can play a game Ticket to Ride in 10-15 minutes. And if you take longer than that on your turn, obviously turns, but if you take a really long time on your turn, I think you place trains or pick up trains or pick up routes. That's it. That's all you can do. So do it. But I'm definitely impatient. That's one of my worst impatient ones. I don't say it out loud, and I don't show my impatience, but internally I know I
flipped the whole table.
Well, I know I need to get 4 blues, and I only have 3. I need to get them before someone else does, and so I need to just draw cards until I get them. I know that's what I need to do, so I'm like, come on. Anyways. So
if you don't mind pausing the video and commenting, and just because I don't want you to get to the end and forget that I asked you this question, be like, do you know me? Would you play games with us? Would you really? Would you not? Say it if you won't. Like, nah, I watch you because you do good reviews, but I think you're a jerk. Like,
ooh.
Not you. They're talking to me. They would never call you a jerk. But
would they call you a jerk?
I'm a super jerk.
But have you conveyed any of that? Not
disagreeing. By the time this comes out,
any of that
I don't think our voting video will be out by the time this comes out, because we're gonna probably post this tomorrow, and our voting video isn't up yet. Once they watch the voting video, they're gonna be like, "Tom, I never knew how horrible of a person you are."
Well, yeah, that's true, because you've done some pretty terrible.
No,
things.
I've been maligned. That's my good character being impugned. We
always talk about this system, and it came up again.
Well, we have it recorded. We got Ethan and Emily on board, so it's coming out. This is gonna happen.
I guess. Okay, I need to bring up something that has been on my mind since Sunday.
Go on.
We played a game. It's a very lovely game.
I'm listening.
It's called Viticulture.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me tell you about this game. It was neck and neck. When I would fulfill an order and go up, he would fulfill an order and go up. It's just Tom and I. And then at the end, the last year, I made a mistake.
You
did. I know exactly where I made the mistake.
It was the best.
And I would have won.
You would have won.
I would have won.
You would have won.
I didn't win. Because I made the mistake.
I won. I think that you were Emily and Jerry. And I was Christian and Rebecca. Yes.
So, this is our first experience with Mamas and Papas, so that's why we were playing it, and it was nice. I liked it. But I don't often get a really bad feeling in my heart for losing, but I did, because I could point to exactly what happened and how I made the mistake. And I know that
That's like Power Grid. You can know, at the end of the game, you can look back and be like, I shouldn't have bought that extra coal. It cost too much, and I didn't end up getting. I couldn't use it, and I needed that $1 at the end to buy the last city, and I couldn't, and because of that, somebody else did, and then I lost. Yep. Oh, it was beautiful. We were playing. Molly, I don't think it was as neck and neck as Molly's saying. She was up the entire time. You had this nifty. She started these Mamas and the Papas. I mean, we're going to do a review, of course, so I'm not going to get crazy here.
I started with the...
You started the one that let you build the windmill, or whatever lets you get a point every time you plant.
It looks like a windmill. Is it called windmill?
It's a windmill. But and she was just planting a ton of vines and getting 1,000,000 points. Yeah, and I was like, this is crazy. We're in like round 2, and she's already up in the teens. But which maybe is a little more of an exaggeration, but... Not by much. I definitely
didn't plant teens worth of...
No, you planted 5 times. It was. Right, I remember looking and being points. Like, "Yikes! That's for doing something you would naturally do."
No, it's a huge thing. Yes, that's why I picked it over the 4 money.
This guy fought much harder. Said no workout like second place. That's what I always say.
Either way,
or that's what Hannah Sweeting always says. That's where I heard that first.
So it was nice, and it was a nice play, but at the end I was ticked at myself.
I was pleased as punch. What's the phrase here?
I think that's the phrase, but as you said it, I thought, why is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Punch pleasing?
Maybe it's pleasant. Anyhow, do you have any questions for us? I sometimes think about, like, viewer questions, and maybe we could do, like, an episode where we answer all the questions. Or maybe if there's only a couple questions, we'll just answer them in the next news segment or something. But, you know, I mean, like, there's this podcast, the board game roundtable, where they do, like, listener mailbag, and they'll just read a bunch of questions and answer those as the podcast. And then, like, Tom Vassell does his live Q&A.
Yeah, he's got a lot more people, huh?
Yeah, if we did it live, we'd probably have nobody.
We'd have no one, which is... It's
not that y'all are no one. I'm just saying, when there's still less than 1,000, what are the chances you'll be on at the same time and whatnot? Speaking of less than 1,000, we were at 979 subscribers. We're at 975 right now. I hate when I see that number drop. It just bums me out.
But 25 away?
We're 25 away from the next glitter painting drawing, so pretty excited.
Yeah.
Getting there. Glad I brought it up now and not earlier, because I thought we'd already be there, and it'd be like, no, I'm bringing it up again. But next time, we've got to crack this.
Well, maybe the next news will be over. Who knows?
We'll see. But anyway, do you have any questions for us, like about maybe board games that we've played? We don't, like we said, this news segment isn't about the board game industry, so you can ask us board game industry questions, and I'll shrug my shoulders. But, like, you know,
we might know, but most likely we won't.
I'm pretty sure. There's so few things I know about this site. There's so little I know about this, but I know games that I've played that I like. So ask us whatever you want, and pending that we feel like answering, we will.
I don't feel like answering this one question we get.
Sometimes people get cray.
Alright.
That's some stuff I'm like, I don't like that. I don't make it feel good. Like, who's your least favorite reviewer? I'd be like, ooh. So I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to have a thought to know how to answer that.
I don't have a thought about that.
Don't think about it.
I don't have one.
What if someone asked us, though?
I won't think about it. So don't ask us that question.
Ask us whatever you want.
We played another game. I'm always just bring up the games, and Tom's gonna bring up other things. They're at the end of our table. Yeah, this one.
All right,
they're at the end of our table, and I can't reach them because I'm. One thing you probably don't know about me is how short I am. I mean, in the film you can kind of see that I'm shorter than Tom, but yep, that's pretty precise.
About this big.
I'm below 5 feet, which just means my reach is not as good as others.
What a small, tiny person you are.
Yep, I'm almost the size of my daughter. I'm working towards it. She's 2. Okay, so we play this game, Impulse. And so every time Carl Chudik has a game, I always get kind of excited because I like his games.
They're just nuts.
They're out of control. And this one is no exception. So Tom learned it and played by himself, and then he taught me, and I had no idea what was happening.
Did you win that game?
I did. Oh. I did win that game. No, I didn't. I was up for most of it, but I knew that I didn't have an engine.
Oh, I did win that game, and it didn't count.
Yeah, because I hadn't played. So
I don't think we've played a game that's counted yet.
No.
Because we taught it to Ethan.
Right, we definitely, Derek, this is new. We're not ready to...
And you smashed them.
Yeah, we're not ready to film this one or review it yet. But this is a game where I just knew I was getting points, little piddly points here and there, and I knew Tom was racking up an engine. But it was also a game, like a lot of his other games, where it's based on what cards you have. If you can get an engine, so you have to do what you can with what you're given. And I knew that if Tom had got the right cards, he would score a lot of points very quickly, and that's exactly what happened. But I do know what's happening now in the game. So, but still, yeah, it's just a crazy nuts game, and I'm excited about it. Yeah,
I can't wait to play it again. So, Book Club was a couple weeks ago, maybe last week?
Last week.
It was last week. Book Club's crazy. It's one of my... it's hard to say now, but I think reading science fiction and fantasy is in my top 3 hobbies. And I think you'd be surprised by what my top 4 hobbies are. I think you'd get 2 of them now that I said one of them, and the other one I think is pretty obvious.
So, no, you don't know him. Okay.
Let me just tell you, man. Pause if you want to guess first, and then, you can see if you got it right.
Feel free to write down your guesses.
Yeah, so in the top 4, I don't know the order exactly, is playing board games, reading science fiction and fantasy, playing Ultimate Frisbee, and dancing. That's where I think they'd probably be like dancing. And I'm not saying like I'm a good dancer. I don't really know technical moves. I just love freestyle. I just love it so much. I whenever I go to a party, and like a New Year's party, and there's dancing, I will be on the floor literally the entire time. Like, literally, I won't leave the room. If, like, Molly's leaving, hey, grab me a water, will you? Because I don't need to leave if you just bring water.
Or we won't go. and just play board games.
Or there's that.
Right, if there's not dancing.
Oh, yeah, if there's dancing. Why would you go to a party without dancing? That doesn't even make sense.
Wouldn't call us partiers, right? So if
I'd call me a partier if there's dancing.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so book club rolled around. Molly is the president and co-founder of the Austin Science Fiction Fantasy Book Club. I feel like sometimes we repeat ourselves. Have we told them this already?
Yes, I believe so.
Anyhow, she co-founded it. She's the president. And last time we met and we talked about the Bob-verse, some Bob book.
We Are Legion?
We Are Legion. And then it came time to nominate the new book. And so I nominated American Gods. It's by Neil Gaiman. I've never read it. I wouldn't say I'm the hugest Gaiman fan. I'd say you are.
I've read some of his YA and I really enjoyed it. So I think his other stuff is different.
I read a Nancy Boys. It's like the sister book to American Gods. I don't think it's the sequel. I think it's just like alongside. Nothing. And I did not like it. And then I read Good Omens. It was the collaboration between Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. We read that for book club. And I'd read it previously, and I liked it. I didn't love it, but I thought there were some really funny parts. And I thought, you know what, though? I'll tell you the reason why I nominated American Gods, even though I thought I wouldn't like it. I love winning the nomination. I do. I thought more people would vote for it. So
really,
yeah, and you didn't even know that because I've never said that.
I'm never voting for a book of yours again.
Why?
If the only reason you are putting it forward is to get the nomination, I'm like, I want to read a book you think is going to be good.
But that's where I've lost all those nominations, and sometimes rightly so. Like we've read several books. I don't want to trash books on this because I'm not a book reviewer, at least not on film. I'm a book reviewer on Goodreads.
Yeah, Goodreads.
I've put in some nominations of books that looked super cool. And then we read them, and they fell flat for everybody. And then a lot of people didn't trust my nomination. So, why wouldn't I do ones that I know everyone else wants to read?
Yeah.
Because I love winning. I'm competitive, man. Yeah. But so what we did is we go to the voting round where whoever gets the top two most votes after everyone writes down their pool of votes for like 3 votes to this, 2 votes to this, 1 vote to that. I was in second place, and Mallory was in first with the book called The Circle, which I've never read. And I had prepared for this, and as she had the most votes, she chose who gets to go second, who gets to go first in the impassioned speech round. So we turn on the dramatic music, and she says Tom goes first.
There's a whole thing. We have bylaws.
It's a whole thing. It's this very big deal. It's a big deal. And so now I say I'm going to read this review of The Circle. It's the very first review I can find on Goodreads, and I read this really scathing review of it just to like really set the mood for how terrible the book that Mallory picked was. Turns out I had written that review previously, and
about whatever book was going to go.
Whatever book was going to go up was going to be this book, and I was like, "You think your mother-in-law's feet are bloated? Well, you haven't even read this book yet." Or like, my 2-year-old dumped over a can of tomatoes or a can of alphabet soup. And the resulting mess was less an affront to the entire field of literature as this book is. And so I went through the whole thing, and every time I say something like this book takes and takes and never gives, and I would stare at Mallory when I said that and really try to punctuate it. I won by 1 vote. It was 5-4 to some abstainings.
Yes.
It was exciting. I was just excited. I want to share that with you. And now I'm actually listening to American Gods, and I'm surprisingly enjoying it. I'm 4 hours in, and it's like a 20-hour book. I'm listening to the 10th anniversary edition where it has like this full cast. You can get it on Audible.
Is it confusing?
No.
Okay.
I think it's well done.
Maybe confusing. Well, yeah, but a lot of them are well done. I just thought it would be confusing, but no. Okay. You just know whose voice is whose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically just like any other book, except the voices are different.
Right.
I haven't listened to them, but I know that like Brandon Sanderson has 1 or 2 that Andrew and Ben have listened to, where there's like sounds in the back, and there's music, there's sword sounds.
It's a movie in your mind.
Yeah, I don't know what they call those, but
a movie in your mind.
Yeah, that's what they call them on Audible. You just type that in, and it comes right up. There's like a thing. I don't know what it is, but anyway, it's not that. I don't think it's confusing. So far, it's been pretty good. Don't know that I'd recommend it because I'm not even a quarter of the way through yet. And maybe if you've read it, you can say some spoilerish thoughts about it.
I haven't started it yet.
But like, just say if you liked it or not. I mean, I listened to Norse mythology right before that, and I was kind of meh on it. It wasn't what I thought it would be, and I think that hurt. Like my boss kind of recommended it to me, and he knew it was going to be more about like tales around a campfire versus a narrative, cohesive plot structure.
You didn't know what you were getting into.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
So Neil Gaiman's great. I read Ocean at the End of the Lane and The Graveyard Book and Stardust. I haven't read Coraline yet, actually. I want to.
Oh, okay.
But those two I really did like, and the first two are YA, so I don't know about the others. But we are probably at 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got to call it. We did good. We did real good.
Yeah, I talked about games. You talked about other things.
All other things. I'm just going to pull these into the view so people can know we had backup stuff to talk about. We're not just running out of stuff here. We're trying to respect your time. Man, we played some games lately.
Yeah.
Deadpool Battle Yahtzee? Just, I don't know that I recommend it. I recommend it like once.
Yeah, for the experience.
It's not like unfun, but it's not the fun I want to have anymore.
Yeah, it's for the experience. Bohnanza always...
Oh, that was hilarious.
The bean game!
The bean game! The score was 16, 15, 15, 15.
Oh.
This guy won by 1 point. It was magical. It was so magical. Dicey Goblins. This game is so fun.
Yeah, it's akin to Celestia, but it's similar.
Yeah, the turn structure and turn order in Celestia matters so much, whereas in this one...
But this one still matters of who stays in, who doesn't, and so you're still rooting for or against the other people, and I think that's fun. You're like, roll good, I'm still in, or roll terribly, because I got out. Yeah, we need you to roll death now, so that I don't regret leaving. Yeah. And then Smash Up. Man, I love Smash Up. I love it so much. No one loves Smash Up as much as I love Smash Up. And no one wants to play with me as much as I want to play with all of them. But we've reviewed it. We need to review all the expansions. We've only reviewed pretty Smash Up. Ooh, probably the best one.
We don't even have all the expansions.
We don't.
We need to get... I'm a dereliction of duty. We need to get all those expansions because I love that game. I could play it all the time. It has its problems. I get it. There's a lot of card text, and you can get someone going for like 5 minutes on their turn, legitimately trying to go quick. I'm like, well, I got to search my deck for a card, so I got to read all these. Yeah. Imagine playing as a new player. Know that, Oh man. Then I got to search my discard and then see if I can put something on top of it. So I get it. I get where people are kind of mellowed out on it, but I dig it.
Yeah. We presented the evidence.
You be the judge.
Let's not go in.